Hey everybody, it's Justin. Thank you so much for joining us on another episode of the Voices for Voices TV show and podcast. This episode is another tough one, another topic or two that we don't like to talk about. Uh, First things first, we just went through a a horrific seeing people injured, killed at a Church of Latter-day Saints in Michigan. So let that sink in a little bit. You're going to church. Maybe you're not going to church. Maybe you have uh, something else going on that day. Maybe your child or a nephew, niece, a real, cousin, somebody that's related to you or that you know, and uh, maybe they have some sort of competition. Give you an example. So, right, church is a place of worship. We in the United States, we have that choice that we can choose to practice religion or not, and that's one of the beauties of being in the United States of America and as a U.S. citizen, as I am. So, whether it's church, whether it's college football, uh, whether it's the NFL on Sundays, whatever that may be, we've had way too many, and I've said this before, but nothing is getting done. Nothing. We hear all the rhetoric of, well, we're going to learn from, for next time, and we're going to prepare. We're going to be vigilant. If you see something, say something. Well, let me tell you, I've seen some things and I've said some things and reported some things. And to the best of my knowledge, in good faith, I don't believe that anything is being done. So that's kind of like part two. So you might be wondering, like, yeah, whatever, all these things you can, see all the signs and the symptoms. And well, that's all great for, after the fact, right? So after people are killed, after people are, uh, uh, watch somebody being killed, like Charlie Kirk, live in person, 2 to 3 thousand, maybe more. And yet, just yesterday, as a father, a dad, not just talking about my child. I'm talking about all human beings. But in this case, it was Sunday. It was for 6 hours. An event was taking place. There were at least maybe 1,500 or more if you include all the members of the competition. So, they have different levels of competition, and there's, squad of 4 or 12 or 20, and you have a collection of representation, which is beautiful from around the area. It's over 6 hours outdoors, beautiful sunny day. There are, there were uh, a lot of people, right? Think of a sporting event. Think of football on a Friday or Saturday night. Think of anything. Think of the concert in Las Vegas, where the individual open fired from uh, a high floor on at the Mandalay Bay, and how those people injured have passed. Uh, they were there to watch a concert, listen to a concert, listen to music, hang out with their family, their friends, their loved ones. And so that happened. And I get it, right? I'm not in Las Vegas. Uh, we're not in some huge metropolis, but doesn't change the value of a human life. And that's why Voices for Voices, we get a lot of love and support. And we want to say thank you so much for that. You can give us a big thumbs up, like, follow, share, subscribe, all those things. They help us spread our mission and our vision of helping 3 billion people over the course of my lifetime and beyond. This isn't about me. This is about helping people one person at a time and leaving a legacy for my daughter. That's what this is about. And so when I attend an event, again, beautiful, sunny Sunday morning and afternoon, competitions going on. So you have children of, I believe, sixth grade and below. So we're talking about children here, everybody. And so we talk about schools and school safety. And yes, that is important. All of this is important. There's not one thing that stands out that is less important or more important. Every single time human beings gather together, that's what we're afforded to be able to do, is to get together and and get together. I mean, I said it twice. Uh, and so I go, I attend again this event, this competition, and I see, again, beautiful sunny days. So a lot of people out, at least 1,500, 2,000, I don't know, maybe more. Uh, Fact of the matter is 95% of the fans, of the families, of the supporters, of the teams in the competition, uh, they're even more excited and more happy because it's a nice day, it's beautiful outside. Yeah, it was scorching hot, and love that on a end of September day. So we talk about the Michigan attack at the Church of Latter-day Saints. We talk about the assassination of Charlie Kirk outside on a beautiful day in front of a group of people in the thousands. And I'm not I'm not a law enforcement person. That's not my background. I don't claim to know more. Uh, I I do know, however, that we need to value every life. And when we hear the rhetoric at shooting after shooting, wherever that's at, it's at school, it's at a church, it's at a concert, a nightclub. These are all places where people are gathering together and are somewhat of the lingo of like a soft target. Sometimes there's security, sometimes there's a lot of security, and and I get it. Security costs money. Nothing's free. If anybody knows that, I know that. There's nothing free. There's nothing given out. I I don't want an award. I don't care about awards. What I care about is human beings. And so again, I'm gonna, go back and forth here. I felt and feel empowered to have this show sent out to the world as all our over 320 episodes. This episode, I believe, will be episode 324. So we got a lot of content in our portfolio. You can find us everywhere. Check us out. And so I'm at this event and I'm looking around, just as the day goes on, I was there for 6 hours. And so there was, some downtime, right? So the people, the individual you're there to see, uh their performance, let's call it, is at a certain time. And these performances, 5 minutes, 6 minutes, 4 minutes, give or take. And so there's downtime after, your loved one, my loved one, my daughter. I'm her father, I'm her dad from day one. And so number one, I am talking as a father and then as a human. And then I guess number three is as a leader of an organization that some say nobody watches or nobody listens. And I'm here to help. So if one person watches or listens to any of our episodes or shows, which they have, the analytics uh, all the way can't be trusted, um, because there's private servers, and when you're dealing with intelligence and things like that, there's certain numbers aren't going to come through, and I'm good with that. We all should be. And so trying to help people is what this part of my life is for. The second half of my life. That's why I'm so passionate about Voices for Voices, what we have done, what we continue to do. I can't do any of this without God. So God is in my life. Jesus Christ is in my life. I pray, I pray, I pray, and I pray. And I don't just pray for me, I pray for others. I pray for family, my family, families across the world, whether we're in agreement or whether we're not, we're still human beings. And so I pray for everybody. I pray for people that are my enemies or are attacking in certain ways. And and so this is why we're here. So at this competition, there was no security, none whatsoever. Zero. And I think we can relate, especially if you have a child or family member that is going through the school system, and they play a sport or participate. Sometimes there's additional fees and money that has to be paid in order to participate. Uh, And so the money gets collected before, the season or if, yeah, the season begins. And these competitions, I'm not just talking about the one I was at. I'm talking about all competitions that when you have that many people, when you have a couple thousand friends, family, loved ones, children, I mean, competing and teams and coming together as a team and uh, building confidence and uh, in their abilities and it was a beautiful thing to see and I was brought to tears a couple of times uh, because number one you know it, my baby's growing up, our baby's growing up. Two, she's having fun and that's all I want is for her health, safety, happiness, but not just of my daughter, but your daughters, your sons, your family members. Uh, this is for everybody. And then there's, uh, behind the scenes, certain actions have been taken, and I I refuse to give up. I refuse to just be a speed bump or being steamrolled. And you should too. You should 1,000% what you believe in. Putting it on the line. And and so that's what we're doing. If you've been with us from the beginning or caught other episodes or this is your first one, we're transparent. We talk about things. We talk about hard topics that others don't want to talk about. Or people say, oh, well, you shouldn't talk about that. Well, we are. And so I'm at this competition yesterday outside. Lot of children performing in their groups and their competition. And there's judges and there's awards, that are handed out and all that. And you know how families are, we try to support the best way we can. And one of the ways is just being there. And I, again, I'm just, taken aback by so much so that there's no security, nowhere, none. I didn't see one police car. I also didn't see an ambulance either. And we're talking about uh, competitions where some some of the participants, they do acrobatics and backflips and all those things. And so there's a real I don't say threat, but there's a chance that at least maybe one, twists an ankle or is injured. We don't want to see that. However, if that happens, this event is big enough that having an ambulance, having a doctor, having a physician, EMT, having some somebody there that if something were to happen, they would be able to go in right away, assess, and do their job. And so, I we hear, all the different sides of the political spectrum that we don't want to bring more guns into the classroom. We don't we don't want to have to do that. Uh, and and so at schools, at least my understanding, at least the current state, is that law enforcement is taking things serious at school to an extent that they can, right? Because we always hear the words, limited resources, limited resources. Well, we got to add, so then we got to, raise taxes because we're going to need to add so many police officers, individuals. And so I say, well, okay, I get it, I hear it, but we just had a couple weeks ago Charlie Kirk assassinated in front of thousands of people and on TV. And I don't know what type of security was or wasn't there. That doesn't matter. What matters is that a human being was taken from this earth way too soon with Charlie, that these individuals at the Church of Latter-day Saints, regardless of what your beliefs are, uh, setting a church on fire and what things are, information is still coming out and will on that. But there's too many of these things that are happening. Even when I go to church, there's no security. I get it. Costs money. We don't want to, I don't know. I just know that I'm sick and tired of hearing all of the commentary that we need to do more, but we can't do this. Well, how many more lives have to be taken? How many more children have to be taken from this earth? How many individuals that are gathering at church or a cheerleading competition or a football game? Uh, how many more before we wake up? People, this is not changing. It's getting worse. And as a person that is sharing and trying to talk this public safety concern, public health concern. You might ask, well, what's a public health concern? It's something that could injure or kill individuals or make them sick, poison, whatever that may be. And so I say to all those naysayers that when's enough going to be enough? I had to witness my own child at a competition with a lot of people on a sunny day, and I didn't see one security personnel. So I don't know who's the fault there. I don't know if it's the where that liability lays or lies. I don't. But what I do know is I don't want my child or your nephew or niece or your grandson or granddaughter, your cousin, uh, teammate. I don't want any of this to happen to anybody else. And so I've been sounding an alarm. I've been talking about hard topics. I bring up things to the proper authorities. And as of today, gotten zero response, me personally. And so again, I just go back to a gathering of people supporting their child, their loved one, and that there was no security at all anywhere. And so that makes me very, very, very troubled that, I mean, people are, you know how parking lots are, right? At schools, they're people are parking in the grass under trees. It's like it's there's a lot of people is what I'm getting at. And they're gathering together, just like those people at the Church of Latter-day Saints, just like Charlie Kirk at his engagement in around Provo, Utah. And we keep hearing, well, we need to do this or that, or, well, our government's not doing enough, or we don't want them to, and that we didn't get the votes we needed, or I don't know. But I'm damn sure that if it's your child, your loved one that happens to be in one of those locations and something nefarious happens, you're going to be just as outraged as I am. And you should be. So we need to do something. We always hear, oh, be vigilant. If you see something, say something. I mean, this goes for a target, an individual that uh, is targeted for whatever reason, whatever that means. So it's for those situations too, where if you see something, say something. If you hear something, if you know something, if you have some information, share it. Well, I've shared it. I shared it with the proper authorities. And again, to this day, zero has been done. You know what has been done? A, a family of supposed loved ones attack you, attack me. And so that's what's going on. So we're just keeping it real, as Tyrus would say, what it is. This is what it is. So I don't know what's getting in the way of these things. I don't know why uh, things happen the way they do. I just put my trust in God and Jesus Christ that it's His will to be done, not mine. And I want to help people. I am, and it's not just me. It's so many others associated with Voices for Voices. I want to thank you for joining us wherever you may be, at home, in your car, on the subway, uh, on a plane, in an airport, on train, in a taxi, an Uber, or Lyft, wherever. It, I'm exhausted at what we have to do and what we have to do so that when we show up to an event, we don't have to worry about, oh, well, there might be some threat. And maybe the organizers of the event thought that, oh, there's no threats, this is just, you know, we do this every year, and we bring teams or squads of individuals that do a performance, and then they get judged, and people are cheering, and they have signs, and they'll blow horn, and it's a fun atmosphere to be around. And it just bothers me to no end that there was no security there. Not just talking about, my daughter, talking about all the others that were there too, all the people in the stands. And so I wanted to put this out, and am putting this out because it needs to be said again and again and again and again that how much is enough? How much is enough? We're all very cognizant of traffic signals, traffic lights, these roundabouts, these circles, are in some areas taking the place of traffic lights. Uh, some of the research says that there's less accidents, and so that's good. We want less accidents. We want less damage, less people hurt, or have the chance to even be hurt. But these traffic lights, I remember growing up at a certain extent. I don't know what year it was, but there was at some point when I realized a certain intersection was just very dangerous. It was just it was just dangerous, and there were accidents. People end up getting hurt, and we hear all the time, well, we don't have the money to put up a traffic signal. We don't have the money. It costs this amount, and but we do after so many people get hurt or killed, injured, maimed. So what's that? What's the magic number? How many people have to be injured, killed, maimed for a competition like I was at yesterday? On the very day, again, this attack at the Church of Latter-day Saints in Michigan occurred. We all think, well, that happens other places. That doesn't happen where I live. Oh, that doesn't happen. Well, guess what? It does, and it's closer than you think. Not because we want to think that, it's just the truth. And, and so I'm just going to close with this. We need more security at events, especially those when there's large gatherings. So I argue if there's money to have security at a high school football game on a Friday or Saturday night, and have an ambulance there, right? I mean, exactly what I'm talking about. If that's able to occur and there's money for that, then where the heck is the money for the security for a cheer competition when there's a couple thousand people that are literally sitting ducks, and hundreds of children that they're doing their performance, and then there's that downtime. And so I don't know who needs to hear this, who needs to see this? But if you're in a place where you can affect change in a positive way and you can make it so the next cheer competition that there is a law enforcement presence and there is medical treatment presence, just as high school football or high school basketball. We have the money for that, right? We got money, we can handle that. We can, you know, and so it makes me just it just makes me, beside myself to think that the cheer competition doesn't rise to the level of, oh, well, we need to, secure it. We need to secure the site. We need to, do whatever we do, surveillance on roofs, on people, I mean, whatever that is, we need to do it. I mean, we go travel, right? Have to go through security. I don't think there's one of us that likes it because we all want to just get to our gate and get on our plane and that and but that's just an understanding that we need that. And so we need to have an understanding that whether it's my child or your relative, sibling, what have you, that their lives matter too. Not just somebody that, not just, a football player or basketball player or we got the money for the law enforcement and the EMTs for those types of events. A cheer competition, part of hosting that cheer competition or what, band show where bands from all over come and they play and they have a show. Uh, we need people to step up. I'm trying my hardest while getting pushed down at every turn, left, right, center, everywhere. Voices for Voices is under siege, and I'll actually end it this time. But we know, or we should know, that if people are disagreeing with us, that's fine. That's fine. Like we're allowed to do that. What it also means is what we're doing is probably something that needs to be done, needs to be said. Uh, and so again, God's my strength. He guides me, he gives me the strength to do laundry, to pick up groceries at the store, to do this, to be able to talk and hopefully make some sense out of out of the show. So we're saying something. We've said something. And let this show, this podcast, this TV show, let this be that ember of light, that glow, to know that we can in fact affect change in a positive manner. We just want to we just want somebody else to do it. No. If we want that ember, if we want to see that light at the end of the tunnel, we all need to chip in. We all need to bring this up to the proper individuals, authorities. That yesterday there was a cheer competition in Medina High School, Ohio. and a couple thousand spectators, and then you have the cheerleaders, grade six below to first grade, and there was no security nowhere. There was no EMT nowhere, and so I'm calling out. We need to support and have law enforcement and medical attention available at these events. And we need the security. We need the presence of security. We need people to see that there's security. Because I pray there never comes a time where something bad, negative, or people get hurt or worse added to your competition or another another event that's put on the back burner and isn't a priority. I guarantee it'll be a priority if it's your child. I guarantee that. And so I'm saying this as a father, as part of Voices for Voices, that this is a public health, public safety concern, and let's do something about it. The time for talk is over. It's time for action. Action. It's time for action. Thank you for joining us on this episode of the show. Uh, Thank you for the love and support you've given us, past, present, future. You can give us a big thumbs up, like, follow, share, subscribe. All those things are free and they help us uh, get closer to that goal of ours to help 3 billion people over the course of my lifetime and beyond. So again, for signing off, this is Justin Allen Hayes, Voices for Voices, and please be a voice for you or somebody in need. We'll see you.